regarding the sustainability of agriculture sector in the face of increasingly volatile climate. And today I wish to outline a strategic shift in our national policy, the transition towards crop insurance as a primary mechanism for covering rehabilitation costs and building a resilient, investment-ready agriculture sector. The World Speaker said when Tropical Cyclone Winston tore through our islands in 2016, it broke the economic spine of thousands of our families. It cost an estimate of Fiji $542 million in damage, affecting roughly 20% of our commercial farmers. Tropical Cyclone Asa inflicted Fiji $147 million in losses, impacting 15% of our commercial sector. From TC Cody in 2022, TC Mal in 2023, devastating flood in 2024, and to the most recent TC Waianu in 2026, we have seen a pattern where even lower intensity events cause cumulative debilitating losses. And Honorable Speaker said the structure of our farming communities is that 83.6% of our farming households are small scale. These are families living on the margins where a single flood can mean the difference between sending a child to university or falling into a cycle of debt. Only 16.4% farming households operate at a medium to large commercial scale. An intervention we design must be inclusive, must be as accessible to the small-scale dollar farm in Taveuni as it is to the large-scale commercial poultry or sugarcane producer in Lambasa. And currently, through local providers such as Sun Insurance, Fiji Care, and Capital Insurance, in partnership with international development agencies, we have seen the introduction of parametrics, microinsurance, and bundle products. There has been particularly vital in our sugar sector, which has long served as a testing ground for risk-sharing mechanism. The sugar industry has taught us that insurance works better or best when it is integrated with financing and farmer support program. It has shown us that while insurance can provide partial income protection and improve sustainability, penetration remains limited without two things: awareness and incentive. However, Honorable Speaker said the Ministry is now looking beyond traditional models. We are actively exploring the expansion of the parametric insurance, and to the public and to those unfamiliar with the term, traditional insurance models often require an insurance agent to physically visit a farm, assess crop damage, and argue over the value of the losses. This process is long, and in many cases, by the time the compensation is disbursed, the planting season has already passed, leaving farmers unable to recover and sustain production. Parametric insurance is different. It is triggered automatically based on predefined data: wind speed, millimeters of rainfall, or the track of the cyclone. If the wind hits a certain speed, the payout is triggered. If the rain exceeds a certain level, the payout is also triggered. The advantages are clear. Speed payout can reach farmers in days, not months, allowing them to replant immediately. The transparency, there is no dispute over the value of damage, and the data speaks for itself. And when we talk about efficiency, it reduces the massive administration cost of sending assessors to every remote farm in our maritime provinces. For a small island development state like Fiji, where a timely response is the difference between food security and food imports, parametric insurance is the most logistic path forward. The World Speaker said the reason for the ministry's intention to move are firstly, it enhances farmers' confidence. When a farmer knows they have a safety net, they are more likely to take the leap from subsistence to commercial agriculture. They are more likely to invest in better seeds, better machinery, and better technology. Second, it reduces the fiscal burden on the government. Every dollar that the insurance company pays out is a dollar that the government does not have to divert from health, education, and infrastructure for post-disaster support. We are moving from a model of government-funded disaster relief to a model of market-led disaster recovery. Honorable Speaker said this vision is not a standalone project. It is a core pillar for Horizon 2030, Fiji's pathway to a safe, resilient, and innovative food system. Under this framework, we are planning to develop a national crop insurance program that will establish public-private partnership to bring global insurance expertise to Fiji, introduce targeted premium subsidy to ensure that our most vulnerable and most productive commercial farmers can afford coverage, and invest in high-tech climate data system and digital tool to ensure our insurance triggers are accurate and fair, and links insurance with concession findings so that an insured farmer is also a bankable farmer. Honorable Speaker said we know the challenges and we need better weather data. We need to build trust with farmers who have never used insurance before. We need to ensure that premiums do not become a burden that overweights the benefits. And we are moving towards a more resilient, protected, and investment-ready agriculture sector. In conclusion, while a fully established national-wide scheme is a complex understanding that requires careful, evidence-based design, the government is taking deliberate steps to ensure that our farmers are never left alone to face the fury of elements. Honorable Speaker said, we are shifting from a uncertainty when waiting for aid to a security with guaranteed recovery. This is how we protect our food security, and this is how we protect our economy and protect our people. Thank you, sir.
Thank the Honorable Tunabuna, the Minister for Sugar. Supplementary question.